Let's jump in. I love that I can jump in here and not hit my head. Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've done an update video on the Sequoia. I did a few recent mods, one of the biggest ones being the wheels and tires. So this is just going to be an update video on the Sequoia. So if you've been following my journey with the Sequoia, it started out as just a very basic family vehicle that I bought for $3,900. And then I really started doing mods, cleaning it up, and making it better and better. From doing a one-step correction just to get it shined up, to a new grille, doing a timing belt, new suspension, it's really been coming along. Hey, so here we are in my 2005 Toyota Sequoia Limited 4x4. I got this vehicle about 8 months ago, and I've been slowly modifying it / fixing it to make it a very reliable daily driver. I've taken this thing on trips and it's been super solid, but it has had a few issues. But first, let's do a mileage check, see what this thing is at. So currently we're at 314,514 miles, so just about 315,000 miles. And this thing, as you can see, is purring. With the custom exhaust, it sounds really good. Most days the AC blows cold. I really enjoy having the Boss system, and I actually ended up changing out 2 front speakers and painting the grills. We went with some power-based 2-ohm OEM replacements up here, which worked a lot better than the kicker speakers that were 4-ohm, and just pretty much the amp just burns them out. So you have to get 2 ohms, and I kind of didn't know that at first, but now I do, and everything is good in that aspect. I also added a subwoofer, as well as this, which I've been trying out for a few days. It's a throttle controller that's like 50 bucks on Amazon, and so far it's working pretty well. I haven't really mounted it yet just because I'm in the testing phase. It definitely gives you a little bit more throttle control when you're stepping on it and you just want to go. The wires aren't run perfectly yet. These just have such a dead pedal feel to them when you are accelerating, so this makes it a lot better. And what most people are probably here for, the wheels and tires. So these are 969, that's the brand. They're 17-inch by 8.5. And they are the 6-bolt for the Sequoia. They are the right hub bore, which is 106.1, so they just go on like an OEM wheel. The offset is -10, so it's kind of perfect, honestly. You can see it's a perfect offset. It doesn't stick out, it's not too inset, it's literally perfect for this vehicle. And then I went with a little bit cheaper tires, and I didn't want to spend too much on the tires. There was nothing wrong with my old wheels, like the actual wheels, there's nothing wrong, but my tires were really noisy. The light truck all-terrains I had on there, they were Goodyear Duratrax. I didn't like them, they were rough. These are a little bit softer compound. They're Kenda 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡 2s, and they ride super smooth. They don't make any noise. I've tested them in the wet and the dry so far, not snow yet because it's August, and so far so good. I really like the design of the wheels. I do have those that I had painted real quick, the calipers. I'll probably end up repainting all of them and doing some new brakes here in the future. This is finally sitting where I want it to and how I want it to. It's really come along these past 8 months. So 8 months into ownership, and everything's holding up pretty well. No real interior complaints. I mean, the leather still looks pretty good. These were a little rusty looking, so I've just painted them with some spray paint that kind of matched the theme that I had, and looks good. Now here's something I had to replace that was expensive. It was about $500 for 4 of these, so 2 per side. Mine were all beat up. This was missing and cracked. The chrome was showing. It was just terrible, so I got new ones, just replaced them. I painted the old ones and it just didn't look good. I couldn't get them right, and with this missing, I just didn't want to chance it over time, so I just got new ones, and it was like $500, and it was just ridiculous. But now it looks a lot better, and in here we still have that same kind of rust I was talking about. I do want to redo those at some point. We have the car seat and just the normal kid stuff. Moving on to the back, we still have the annoying bumper rash that was been there since I bought it. If you've seen the other videos, that always has annoyed me, but we got a little license plate cover, a little Toyota decal, and some decals here to let everybody know what kind of mileage we're dealing with. But yeah, this has been my vehicle, my daily driver. I love how it sits, and it drives super nice. The V8 is nice to have, sounds good. Speaking of sounding good, I recently added this addition. We got a WeatherTech mat back here, which is really nice because I never use the 3rd row. And then I have a Rockville sub. I'll have links for everything in the description below. This thing was like 115 bucks. It's a 10-inch, has a built-in 500 watt amp, and it hits hard. So all I had to do was run the power wire, RCA's, ground, and a remote all the way from the head unit. I tucked it in under the door sill kind of panels, so you can't really see it. Unfortunately, with a big open SUV like this, the wires just come out, and then there's not really a great way to hide them unless you go under the carpet or tape them down with like gaff tape or something like that. I didn't tie it down. It's just been sounding really good. And then here on this side, same thing with the wheels. We got the same wheels and tires, and it just looks really good. Has a really good offset, really good stance. Beefy. Now, one thing I have wanted to do was this, it's just how Toyotas sit. They always have less wheel gap here than here, even though the vehicle's level. I don't know why that is, kind of annoying, but these oversized tires lifted an inch. Yeah, so let's check out the engine bay, what I've done recently. If you've seen any of the other Sequoia videos I've done, this looks familiar to you. Nothing crazy going on. I still haven't fixed that wire, put it through the hood, but it's one of those things on the list to do that I just will get around to. I did the timing belt, I did the water pump, we did cam seals, and we sealed everything up because I had the valve covers off just to make sure there's no oil leaks. And so far so good. Put all new coolant, hasn't overheated. Had done the brake booster and all that I've mentioned in other videos, headlights, all that good stuff. Grill. Everybody asked me about this grill, and I feel like I mention it every video or try to link it. It's made by a couple different companies. I got it from goodmatchup.com. It was like 200 bucks shipped with the Raptor lights, and this is aftermarket on Amazon. Makes it look a little bit more modern. And look at that, this is the best part. I'm 6'1", and this doesn't touch. The car seats in most cars I've been in always touch or hit, or I can't put my seat all the way back. This is in my full seating position. That's most comfortable, and my daughter still fits in there with no issues. I think I mentioned this last video. I also have the Desert Does It seat jackers. What that does is jacks this up an inch, gives you more thigh and butt support. With when you sit in the seat, it just feels way better. It's hard to explain until you do it, and you're like, wow, I feel like I am not gonna get a cramp in my leg on a big drive, so that's nice. So there it is, the 2005 Sequoia. Let's jump in. Yes, I love that I can jump in here and not hit my head like 4Runners and other vehicles in the Toyota lineup. We do get a little bit of rubbing on the front tires. Of course, these are oversized, so that was also to be expected. What do you think of the new mod, Lily? You like it? New wheels, new tires, it's really been coming along. I think this latest mod will help handling as well as giving it some better looks. And there it is. Maybe you don't notice it right away, but this thing is lifted another inch. In the previous videos, I had stock suspension, then I went to the Bilsteins with stock springs, and now I have the old Man Emu springs with the Bilstein 5100s, and it's lifted it a total of 2 inches, plus with the bigger oversized tires, it's another inch, so I guess technically 3 inches. I also took the side steps off, which has revealed some surface rust that I want to sand and paint, so hopefully we'll get to do that tomorrow. But overall, the thing is looking really good. I don't like how Toyotas, even though the body's level, the front is always less than the rear. That just seems to be a thing with lifting 4Runners, Tacomas, even this Sequoia. The springs and heights are set the same, and the vehicle is level. It's just kind of how it is. I think it really came together with the black on gray, with the blue calipers and the lift. And then we have the aftermarket headlights, the Raptor lights with the aftermarket grille. This thing has just really come along. The only downside right now is the e-brake needs adjusted. It's not really engaging very well. So that's something I have to dive into, and something I've been planning for a while also, Restore Effects. So what Restore Effects does, I'll show you, and I'll be making a full video on this. I have a lot of like scratches and dings and stuff like that. Well, so the shop that I go to that does Restore Effects, they'll take out the dings as best as they can. And then what Restore Effects does is you can see like this kind of stuff. Also, new shirts. We're setting up the website. You can see these like surface scratches, and you could polish these off. You know, you can buff them and get them off. Get this perfect. And those are, I mean, that's, you could do that. I also have a lot of rash here. I'll probably just end up needing a new rear bumper. But what they do is they kind of lightly sand the whole car with 3000 grit. I think wet sand it. So that really gets the clear coat ready for a chemical clear coat, which is Restore Effects. It chemically bonds. It's a little bit harder than a regular clear coat. And then you get like a nice fresh clear coat to work with. And you can buff and polish it and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of like resets your paint without getting a paint job. It's very affordable. I had it done on my old Scion XB, and I'm really excited to have it done on this vehicle because it's going to make it look so much better. It's going to just fill in a lot of the scratches on the clear coat, kind of reset it and make it nice and smooth, and then we'll be kind of good to go for a while. And I don't really want to have this thing repainted. I don't want to buff and polish it and correct it until the clear coat is gone and I'm hitting paint and bare metal. So Restore Effects is the way to go because it's just an affordable option that's going to really make this paint shine. And I'll be partnering with a local company to have that done. And if you want to have it done on your vehicle as well, then I can point you in the right direction. So that video will be coming soon. There'll be a full before and after, but I did want to mention it while I'm mentioning this lift. As far as other updates, there's not really many. I do want to do rock sliders and just get this thing looking even better. Definitely drop in the comments, what do you think of this setup? Is there something better for the same price? I think all in all, something I should have done a long time ago. I should have done the springs while I did the suspension. I just didn't. So I thought, oh, I don't need to lift it, but I do. It's awesome. All these parts I got were from First Gen Off-Road, not sponsored. They didn't give me anything, but a very good resource for the suspension for these First Gen Sequoias. I think springs and shocks together, probably like 700 or 800 for a full suspension lift. Not bad. I paid somebody to do it just because it's been really busy with work lately and I didn't want to take a whole Saturday and waste a whole Saturday to do that when I needed to make videos and other things. So I hope you understand and don't call me a person that doesn't work on their car like most YouTube guys. But I do work on it, just sometimes family gets busy and you don't have the time. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and as always, keep those wheels turning. So long, farewell.